Hi, morning everyone. Thanks for coming. My name is Agustin, I'm from Uruguay. I lead commercial efforts in dLocal, and today we're going to discuss a bit about emerging markets, what you as companies should be looking at, and some strategies that maybe will be good for you. Okay, so why emerging markets? So emerging markets offer substantial growth for digital business, and that's our own focus. I mean, all our capital is allocated there. You will never see us probably serving companies in the US or any developed markets because we won't add any value there. Actually, what we see in emerging markets, that the uplift is coming from there on the years to come. If you think of all the people joining the middle class, by 2030, there will be 700 million people moving from poverty or low middle class to the consumer cohort. So this is something that you should be looking at. Even if you take a look at the birth rates on emerging markets, particularly the average age that these guys have, how soon they get a smartphone, and all these new consumers that are all there, and we'll be understanding in the following sessions how fragmented are the emerging markets, what do you need to look at, and how to navigate them. So payments are critical enablers for economic growth, connecting global companies with emerging consumers or global consumers. And what we see here, I mean, typical example, you can find a Brazilian trying to buy affordable goods from a Chinese retailer, or even deal hiring remote workers all around the globe, or even someone that, I don't know, let's say you want to send or receive money across the globe without paying ridiculous rates. So this is how payments connect the global world and somehow leverage all the payments looking for. So whenever you look at emerging markets, people probably think, or more here in Europe, credit cards are a commodity. So we all probably know how this works, how you compete, how you make your space there. But when you look at emerging markets, only 20% of the people there, individuals, get access to international credit cards or credit cards. So actually, what we need to think is what is building up that other 80% on the dashboard. So those are like more than 1,000 payment methods that you need to understand the trends, the culture of all this region. When I say regions, Africa, LatAm, Asia, because there are some cultural behaviors that differ all across the globe. So Latin America. Latin America is where we started. Latin America, it's a country that has been evolving a lot. Today it's mind-blowing the amount of people that are included in the financial system that were not before. Also, what is surprising for me is there are dozens of neobanks that are coming up here. There is one that is a unicorn, Nubank. You probably know this bank. Nubank has 50 million credit cards issued all in Brazil. And this tendency is something that we are looking at, and this is something that we'll save for sure in the long run. So for the volumes or the consumer spending in terms of market that we are observing for the next 3 years, the market will double. We'll get into $1 trillion on the e-commerce in Latin America over 3 years. And these five countries here, Brazil, Mexico, Argentina, Peru, and Colombia, will add more people to the consumer class than all the Europe, Canada, and the US combined. So if we look at a glance at Latin America, we have all these, let's say, instant payment system that they have been evolving a while. We have one that is the Diva, probably Pix, that probably many of you know. This was launched in November 2020, Pix, and it has been a whole thing in terms of analysis. What is Pix? Pix is a network that connects all the banks in Brazil, and it's instant. You can pay with a QR, and you can pay with your phone. Pix right now is being, Pix right now is being enabled in other countries. So the Central Bank of Brazil is helping other governments, like Colombia, Chile, Ecuador, and Uruguay in order to enable this. The figures are like amazing. It's 81 billion in online sales, reduced in the previous year. But Pix is not the only exception. Also, besides these features, we have some others like, I don't know, Pix Troque, that whenever you go to a store, you pay with your Pix, you get back your cash. But also you have like Pix Saque, you can go to an ATM and get money without having even a card. But there's another instant payment method that is getting a lot of popularity, specifically in Peru, that is Yape. So what is Yape? Yape was developed by BCP, Banco de Crédito de Perú, in 2017. And today have almost half of the population of Peru, 15 million users. So what's interesting about Yape? You can open up an account straight away with your phone number. You can top up with the telco, you can top up with cash, you can top up with a bank transfer, or you can top up even with your credit card. It's an instant payment method. You can just tap it. And if you go to Peru, to Lima, or any other city, everyone will be using Yape. Also, the Peruvians are exporting Yape because in Bolivia, Yape launched last year. So this is a really good example. So many of you might be familiar with buy now, pay later. Actually, our form in Latin America of buy now, pay later came decades ago in the form of installments. In Latin America, all the people are very used to paying installments. Could be 3 installments, 9 installments, 24 installments. And what is giving this? This is giving an extra power for the consumer in order to purchase or to pay to whatever they're willing to pay. This could be in store, this could be online. And Installment, yeah, basically is giving this. And also for some countries, let's say I'm a consumer, and sometimes in Latin America it happens a lot. Also now we are observing that in some other countries in Africa. Our currency devaluate, like a lot. So let's say my currency, like in Argentina last year, currency was devaluated, or inflation was like 2 digits on a monthly basis. I'll probably prefer with installments, probably with 12 installments, because my product will be cheaper when I end up paying my installments. If I convert to a hard currency, I'll be paying less. I want to stop a bit on Argentina. Actually, many of our customers left some years ago Argentina, and now we are very positive on Argentina. Javier Milei, extreme right candidate, was elected, is the presidency now, and very rapidly he's adjusting and taking to a minimum the expenditure of the government and trying to get like external investments into the country. So many of our merchants are resuming transactions in Argentina. We are looking forward for this country to be huge in terms of e-commerce again. So Africa, next region. So Africa, it's, as you may know, will add for the consumer basis in the next years, mind-blowing figures. So if you think of consumer spending, in 20 years, Africa spending will be 3.5 times. Or even if you take like Egypt, Nigeria, Ethiopia, South Africa, and Kenya, they will add more in consumer spending than the UK, Germany, France, and Russia. So Africa is a country that is very fragmented. We will look in the next slide. No, sorry. I'll go to the next slide. Africa is very fragmented. So if you look like at the north of Africa, you have cash there in Egypt. It's mobile money on the east. It's more bank transfers on the east. And this is mainly because of the amount of branches that you can have there. So who is the winner, let's say, in Africa, or where all the consumers are getting this trend is mobile money. So mobile money is a form of payment that you will pay with your mobile. You don't need internet connection. You just pay with your network. So actually, if you have a telco, this could be Airtel, Orange, MTN, Wave, or any of these, you will pay and you can top up mobile money in any physical store. And even if you think of getting paid, let's say I'm an employee of a company, or even I sell whatever, something handcraft, I will get paid probably with mobile money. So people get paid their wages with mobile money in Africa. So mobile money came here to stay. So if you look at the biggest banks in Africa, like FNB, KCB, or Postbank, these guys don't want to lose the train. So they partner with mobile money, because mobile money is not a trend that will be decreasing. Actually, it will be increasing. And they're investing in these banks. They are doing some arrangements in order for the customers to have loans, in order to have instant payments. And if we think of mobile money in the future and how even the schemes are looking at mobile money, MasterCard last month invested $200 million to have a minor stake in MTN. Last year in October, Visa announced that they will be investing $1 billion in the next 5 years in mobile money. So definitely mobile money is a trend that is here to stay. If I go a little back to the potential of Africa, for you to have a glance, Uber in 2022 reached the figure of 1 billion in rides. Bolt made the same 1 year after. If we go to Spotify, 30% of their subscribers are in Africa and Asia, and not only 30%, but it's the fastest growing regions for Spotify. Also, Glovo has 30% of the footprint in Africa. Okay, so we reach to Asia. What can I say of Asia? Probably more than half of the planet, like 60% of consumers are there. Insane internet penetration in Asia, and huge, huge potential. What is the norm in Asia? So actually, when we think, or whenever we said alternative payment methods, so in Asia, it's all the opposite. I mean, alternative payment methods in Asia probably are credit cards or some other accessory payments. But the norm in Asia are the wallets. Probably these are the most popular wallets in Asia. Anyone who is in Asia, even in Indonesia, will have multiple wallets. Any individual will have more than 3 wallets in their phone. How these wallets compete? Because here are 8 wallets, but there are hundreds of wallets. How come popular and how they take the lead between each other? So this is because of this is because of cashbacks, and this is because of promotions that they do on a monthly basis, discounts on store, discounts online. So if you are in Asia and you miss wallets, probably you're missing a high percentage of the population. What else is very important in Asia? This is instant real-time payments. So India is taking the lead with 81% of their transactions being made with real-time payments. What's behind the scenes of that? UPI. So UPI is kind of a PIX. It's a unified payment system that they interact with all single banks. You pay instantly, and you can pay with UPI in all the wallets that were shown in the previous slide. So UPI is instant, it's 24/7, and actually is going through many other countries now. There are many countries in Europe that are accepting UPI. So if you are from India and you travel all across Europe, there are many countries that will be being able to pay with UPI. Here are some features of UPI. In 2023, total transactions facilitated UPI amount by 117 billion. That's a figure. And yeah, you can just bill, pay, connect, you can tap and pay, and many other features. They have a massive amount of customers, so they will still be launching new features, new capabilities, and making the most out of the system. So here are the countries that UPI expanded in the last 3 years, probably. So now, let's say if you go to France or UK, you can pay with UPI. So what's the local? I got to the end. The local is a PSP that connects global merchants with consumers in emerging markets. With one API, you connect to one API, and you get more than 1,000 payment methods in emerging markets. Today, we are in more than 41 countries. So we collect for the merchants. We settle in hard currency to them. We have direct connections to all the acquirers, to all the banks, to all the wallets, to all the cash stores. So actually, we take care of all the complexities, taxes, everything. These are some of the merchants that trust us, and we have been growing together through the last 7 years. And yeah, that's all. Thank you so much.